The Odyssey slid out of faster-than-light travel with a shudder that rippled through her steel bones. The crew had grown used to the hum of the drives, but when the ship decelerated, a new sound filled the air. Silence. Captain Aria Vance leaned forward in her command chair, eyes narrowing at the expanse before them. The viewing screen was a portrait of death, ships. Thousands of them. They drifted in the void, no lights, no signals, no motion, yet the formation was unmistakable. It wasn't the chaos of battle wreckage. This fleet looked arranged, like tombstones lined up row after row in some cosmic graveyard. Her first officer, Lieutenant Kieran Holt, muttered under his breath, "God help us. I've never seen so many hulls in one place." "That's over 2,000 vessels," the AI interrupted in its calm, synthetic tone. "All of unknown origin. Multiple designs, varying in technological eras. Ages range from centuries to millennia." "Millennia?" Aria repeated. "Then why do they look preserved?" The AI hesitated, its processors humming. "Unknown. However, Captain, I am detecting life." The bridge went still. "Life?" Holt asked, turning sharply. "In that," he gestured to the ruins on screen. Hulks split open, some twisted like broken bones, others scarred black by fire. "Yes," the AI said. "A single signature aboard each vessel. Consistent across all scans. Vital signs stable." Aria's chest tightened. "One life per ship? Impossible." Yet the readings were clear. Navigator Dela Cruz leaned closer to her console, whispering, "It's like each ship has one soul chained to it." Aria ignored the chill that ran down her spine. She had been through wars, blockades, and mutinies. She didn't believe in superstition. This was data. Facts. If someone was alive in there, it was their duty to investigate. "Bring us into the nearest wreck," she ordered. The Odyssey's docking clamps sealed against the side of the first Derelict, an alien cruiser shaped like a crescent blade. Its surface was scarred with plasma burns, its hull a dull, cold silver that looked almost organic. The boarding team suited up. Aria led them herself. She trusted no one else to see the truth first. As the hatch hissed open, the smell of ancient air, dry and metallic, wafted into their helmets. They stepped inside. The corridors were wide, lined with panels covered in symbols that shifted like liquid when light hit them. Dust floated in weightless clouds. Everything was silent except for the faint hiss of their own oxygen. "Nothing works here," Holt said, tapping a dead control panel. "Keep moving," Aria ordered. Her voice was firm, but inside, her stomach twisted. This place felt less like a ship and more like a tomb. Then at the heart of the vessel, they found a dotted chamber, circular, its walls etched with glowing patterns. In the center sat a figure, tall, skeletal, humanoid, but alien. It sat cross-legged, eyes closed, inside a faint shimmer of energy as their lights touched it. The figure's eyes snapped open. They weren't eyes at all. They were voids, deep pools of black that seemed to swallow the beam. The creature's lips moved. A whisper scraped against their comms, too soft, too old to understand. "AI, translate," Aria whispered. The ship's synthetic voice hesitated before replying. "Translation approximate. One remains. One always remains." The words settled over the boarding party like a shroud. Holt shifted uneasily, his hand tightening on his rifle. Aria forced herself to step closer, her voice steady though her heart raced. "Who are you?" The being tilted its head, its face unreadable. Then it whispered again, the same words. "One remains. One always remains." They returned to the Odyssey with more questions than answers. Back on the bridge, the AI confirmed the impossible. Every ship in the graveyard held a survivor. Each different, each alive. Aria stared at the star-strewn void beyond the viewport, her reflection pale against the glass. She had the sinking feeling they had not stumbled upon history. They had walked into a trap that had been waiting for them for thousands of years. The Odyssey drifted deeper into the graveyard, surrounded by silent titans of metal and bone. The crew no longer spoke much. The whispers of the survivors weighed on them like a curse. "One remains. One always remains." Every ship told the same story. A single being alive. Different species, different epochs, but always one. Never two. By the time they reached the largest vessel, the cathedral ship, it was clear the crew's nerves were unraveling. Navigator Della Cruz muttered prayers under her breath. Holt kept his rifle raised, even inside their own halls. Even the AI, usually neutral, paused a beat too long before giving data, as if it feared its own conclusions. Aria forced herself to stay composed. A captain couldn't afford fear, but in her gut, she felt it. They weren't explorers anymore. They were heirs to something old, something waiting. The cathedral ship dwarfed them. Its blackened spires reached into the void like claws. Docking was like laying the Odyssey against the gates of a mausoleum. Inside, the air was colder. The corridors arched high, ribbed like the bones of a leviathan. The walls shimmered faintly with patterns that pulsed like heartbeats. And in the center, in a chamber vast as a temple, sat the final survivor. Unlike the others, this one was familiar. Its body was humanoid, though unnaturally tall. Its skin was pale, its eyes a deep gray. But what froze Aria was its smile. "You came," the being said. In perfect English, the crew recoiled. Holt raised his rifle. "How the hell?" The being rose slowly to its feet, every movement deliberate, graceful. "I know your tongue because I once spoke it," it said softly. "I was like you, human, captain of a ship called the Vigilant. We found this place centuries ago, and now," it spread its arms, "I am what remains." Aria's mouth went dry. "That's not possible." "Oh, but it is. This place does not kill. It chooses. Every fleet that enters, only one is left, bound to their ship, forever." The words echoed. Crew members shifted, fear rising in their voices. "We should leave, Captain," Holt urged. "Now." Before, but the survivor only laughed, hollow and tired. "You cannot leave. You are already chosen. The graveyard has rules. One remains. The rest vanish." The lights flickered on the Odyssey. Systems screamed warnings. Areas calm filled with static and shouts. "Captain, something's wrong. People disappearing." She spun toward her crew. Holt's face twisted in terror as he reached for her. Then his body dissolved into air, gone in an instant. One by one, the others winked out. Their voices cut short, leaving only silence. "AI. Audiobook. Report." But the ship's voice was gone. Dead. She stumbled back into the cathedral chamber. Alone. Alone with the survivor, and he looked at her with pity in his gray eyes. "It begins," he said softly. "They are gone, and now you will remain. For centuries. For millennia. Until the next fleet comes. And then you will say the words as I did. One remains. One always remains." Aria's throat clenched. She wanted to scream, to deny it, but already she felt the weight settling on her bones, the unseen chains coiling around her soul. The graveyard had chosen. She collapsed to her knees as the survivor began to fade, his duty fulfilled. His form shimmered into dust, vanishing, leaving her utterly alone. Her voice broke in the emptiness, the words spilling unbidden from her lips. Words she knew she would whisper to the next explorers centuries from now. "One remains. One always remains."